We're at the Moonstruck Diner on Madison and 38th asking people, pardon me, do you know where trans fat comes from?
Transylvania?
Not quite. Trans fat is what you get when you take liquid vegetable oil, like soybean oil, and put it through a chemical industrial process. It turns it into sort of a semi-solid. There are some good things about that. Chefs love working with it because it's very malleable, like a putty almost. Problem is, artificial trans fats do a real number on your arteries.
They actually raise your bad cholesterol, what we call the LDL, and they also lower your good cholesterol, which is essential for preventing heart disease and maintaining cardiovascular health.
Meet Laura Stanley, coordinator of the Trans Fat Help Center. She's the go-to person for restaurants and food service professionals who have questions about New York City's trans fat ban.
We're here based at New York City College of Technology, working in collaboration with the New York City Department of Health. We have a hotline and people can call with any kind of questions, like I'm using a new trans fat, 0-gram trans fat shortening, and it doesn't whip up like the old one does, and my cakes aren't aerating properly, and what can you tell me, and questions like that. And we have this available in 3 languages, Chinese, Spanish, and English. It turns out there's a lot involved with making the switch if you're a baker or if you are buying partially prepared foods like frozen French fries. These things are made with partially hydrogenated vegetable oil or artificial trans fat. And it takes a while to find a new product and incorporate it into your recipes and so forth. So when people call and say, what can I use instead of partially hydrogenated vegetable oil, we send them to this 5-page table of all kinds of products.
And while Laura works the phones, Joanne Jacobs of City Tech's Department of Hospitality Management works up trans fat-free versions of old favorite recipes. So what are we doing here today?
We are going to make a pound cake.
A trans fat-free pound cake.
Right, old-fashioned pound cake.
Can I help?
Please do.
What do
If you would crack some eggs for us, please.
Okay.
All right, just not there, over there, into the container, please. We are working with the Department of Health to show the small bakeries in New York City that we can use the new shortenings that are on the market that do not have trans fats in them. And when we compare them to the shortenings that do have trans fats, you will not notice a difference.
Mm-hmm. Tastes just as good.
Maybe even better.
You know, we don't want to drive people into the arms of saturated fats and think that it's healthy. It's still not a good idea to eat a lot of deep fried food and a lot of cake and pastry. We all love these foods. New Yorkers love their food. We're making those foods healthier by eliminating the artificial trans fat, but we're not saying that eating vast quantities of any of this stuff is now okay. It's definitely not. We want to be heart healthy in New York.
All right, so we need this flour sifted here because by sifting the flour, we're going to get more air. Romper room!
Yes!
I see.
And I see Laura, and I see Joanne. Oh, that was fast.
Yeah, much easier.
The sugar goes quickly.
Mm-hmm. Right to our thighs.
Your average consumer that doesn't have a commercial establishment can still call 311
Sure.
and find out about cooking at home.
People call us all the time. Mainly they call us because they're worried about what they're eating in restaurants, and they want to make sure that this is really happening, and they want to understand how it's happening and when. But if they want to call and talk to us about cooking, we'd be happy to help them out.
So Laura, what about butter?
Butter and lard and other animal fats do contain trans fat, but it's a natural trans fat, and it occurs in such minute amounts that it's not a concern and it's not covered under the regulation.
Da-da-da! A trans fat-free pound cake.
There you go.
The truth is in the eating.
Would you like to try a
I
piece?
would. Trans fat-free. Here we go. Oh, God, is that awful? You cooked it, you got to eat it. Okay. Can't tell the difference.
Nope.
It's pound cake.
Just as good as the
One thing they don't teach here at City Tech is never talk with your mouth full. but they have good recipes. And if you want to know more about the trans fat website, it's notransfatnyc.org. And you are watching Study with the Best.